From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
The Cougars from UC-Clermont and Batavia in town to take on your Trailblazers, and Coach coming off that 91-81 win at unranked KCU on Tuesday night. It was a win in the region, but I know talking with Tony Stockman after the game, wasn't too pleased with the effort. 19-point lead in the first half, built a double-digit lead again in the second half. As you've looked back on it, digested it, chewed on it a little bit, why weren't you guys able to slam the door more in that first half or early second?
Well, we just didn't put them away. We had them down 19 in the first half, had a chance to really put it out of reach, and we sort of lacked that killer instinct. And I think we got comfortable, sort of got relaxed, and they took advantage and came back, and they made it a much closer game than we thought it should have been. And so even though they say a win's a win, we left there not being really happy about the outcome of the game.
Tony described it as some lethargic play. I think he used the word disinterested. Some guys just didn't look like they were too into the game. But I'm sure there were some bright spots as well as you look back on it. Jamie, what were some of the things that you were pleased with on Tuesday night?
Well, we felt like James Nelson gave us some good minutes. He had 18 points, 9 rebounds. And some of our guards came in off the bench and shot the three really well. Evan Bartlett, Danny Schrock, and Milan Kostov, that trio shot over 50% from three in the game, and so we took that away from the game. We liked how they stepped up, but we did sort of relax a little too much. And we have a team right now. When we play really good teams, we step up and we answer the call. But the other thing is when you play teams that you feel you're better than, you have to step up and you have to take the game to them. You can't wait for them to bring the game to you. You have to initiate and you have to dictate what's going to happen.
How much does a game like tonight concern you? Concern Tony in the post game. Here's a team you beat by 37 back on the 30th of November. It's an athletic team that has really had OCU's number. They've won 5 out of the last 7 in the series, but it's a team that maybe this team could be looking past. How much does that concern you tonight?
Well, they've had some personnel changes, and so we know we have to make some adjustments as far as their personnel. They've lost some players and added some players. So we're going to have to make some adjustments as far as who we're guarding at different spots. But we like this matchup. We did beat them significantly in the first matchup. You almost have to throw that result out the window because they're going to bring a much better effort.
Head coach Mandy Ray joins us here on the pregame shows. We get you set for the Lady Trailblazers and UC-Clermont, and head coach Mandy Ray does join us. Coach, coming off that 76-59 loss at KCU on Tuesday night, you mentioned in the postgame when we talked to you that you felt like your squad didn't execute the game plan very well. In particular, as you thought back on that game, what are some of the areas they failed to execute?
I think the most important thing was we didn't play hard, and we didn't show effort. Defensively, we didn't play with intensity, and I think the defensive end obviously is first and foremost. Just we've got to be able to hold them to under that many points, and so the biggest thing is playing hard and playing with intensity.
What do you attribute that to? That's been such a big rivalry the last couple of years where girls have laid their lives on the line to try to knock off KCU. Why were things so different the other night?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they were like too excited or, I really honestly just, if we could figure that out, then I think we'd be
big day.
Yeah, we'd be in good shape. I don't know. I thought other games we really have battled.
Sure.
The Claremont game, I thought we battled, at their place, and had the lead for a good part of the game. And Cedarville, we battled. I mean, we lost, but we played hard and rebounded and played with intensity for the whole 40 minutes. So I'm not sure.
Big day on Tuesday for Monica Stevens under the bucket, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. How much did you miss somebody like Kara Zwick underneath that basket?
Yeah, I mean, Olivia's playing a little bit out of position for us as it is, as a 5. You know, she's more of a, she's really mobile to play the 5, and so, and she's obviously not real big. She's a great rebounder, athletic, and knows how to use her body and things like that, but when she gets against somebody so much bigger, you know, and having basically just her to put in there to battle with her, I think she got worn out a little bit. You know, wasn't able to use her strengths as much either. So we definitely missed Kara. It'll be good in a couple weeks to have her back and get her back out there and, you know, have another option in there and be a little bit deeper.
Let's talk a little bit about UC-Clermont. You mentioned your girls battling back on November 30th, ended up 61-60. What else do you remember about that game?
Oh, it was just a crazy game all around. I thought it was really sloppy. You know, we forced them into a lot of turnovers, but then we had just stupid turnovers ourselves, turning and, you know, traveling and throwing the ball away and things like that. Obviously, the biggest thing you remember are the last few plays and, you know, T hitting a couple shots down the stretch and hitting the one to give us the lead again, I think with like 9 seconds or something like that. And then obviously the one where they drove and Olivia stepped up to help and they dished it to the girl right at the buzzer to score. So, you know, I think, you know, we made the girls watch the whole film and watch the end and hopefully, you know, they're still a little bit bitter about it.
A little bit of bitterness is good. So they've lost 3 or 4 girls since we saw them November 30th. The one girl that they have not lost, that I'll be glad, I'm sure you will, when she graduates, Marissa Stutz, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, number 1 in the USCAA with 2.3 blocks. What aspect of her game has hurt you the most over the years, and how do you try to slow her down tonight?
I think she's so full of energy. Like, she never gets tired. She's constantly moving on offense. You know, most people, they stand still at some point, you know what I mean? Whether it's to rest or whether it's, you know, to let someone else penetrate and pitch it out to them. But she's just constantly moving, cutting, looking for the ball. You know, so she poses a problem and really, you know, wears defenders down, I think.
Should be a good matchup underneath the basket tonight. We've talked about Olivia Davis. I think it was Stacy Lee, their big, that was the one that made that basket at the end. They both had 11 in that earlier meeting. How big is that matchup underneath the bucket tonight?
I think it's going to be big. I don't think she had a real good game against us the last time, personally. But I think she definitely has that capability.
Sure.
You know, we just need to do our best to. I thought we did a better job in that game of pressuring their guards so that she didn't get it inside as much, as opposed to the KCU game. But, you know, we'll need to do the same thing and just stay active on her and try to make her, you know, catch it and go ways that she doesn't want to with it.
Injuries at this time of year always such a big factor. 18th of January, what's your injury report look like?
We're pretty good right now. I mean, obviously you have the nagging things and stuff like that, but nothing too serious that I don't think should hinder anybody too much.
As you get ready to go into the locker room, final talk from the coach before the game, what are the 2 or 3 things you're going to stress that could really determine the outcome tonight?
I think, you know, number 1 is playing hard and giving it everything we have, rebounding and taking care of the ball, getting good shots on offense. I think we rushed a lot of shots, and that's been something that we've done a lot through the season. You know, we want to push, we want to get transition baskets and get layups, but if we don't have it, we want to get into our offense and not take a quick shot. Sometimes, you know, Olivia's a great offensive rebounder, and a lot of times we're taking a shot before she's even down the floor after taking the ball out of bounds or whatever. So, you know, really working our offense and getting good shots every time if we don't get transition.
Coach, appreciate your thoughts. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
That's head coach Mandy Ray here on the pregame show. It's UC-Clermont and Ohio Christian, a rematch of a game on November 30th that Coach Ray alluded to. Stacy Lee a shot at the buzzer to win it, 61-60. Trailblazers going to try to get revenge and even this series at 1 apiece here in 2012-2013. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll meet tonight's starting lineups. It's Ohio Christian and UC-Clermont. Back with more after this on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Back here in the Leadership Center as we get you set for Ohio Christian and UC-Clermont. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First of all, for UC-Clermont, their point guard tonight is Marissa Stutz. We told you about her averaging 10 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 2.3 blocks, which is number 1 in the country. She is a big reason why this program continues to have 20-win seasons. The senior out of Hamersville, Ohio. The 2 guard tonight is their leading scorer, Ashley Keith, 5'7" junior out of Cincinnati, 15.3 points and 5.9 rebounds. The small forward tonight is Tess Janicki, number 1 in America right now with a 93% free throw percentage, 52 out of 56 for the 5'7" sophomore from Bethel, Ohio that averages 13 points and 3 rebounds. Desiree Dutra will play the 4, 5'9" sophomore out of Fayetteville, Ohio, 4.4 points and 3.5 rebounds. And the man in the middle tonight is Alex Junker, 5'10" sophomore from Milford, Ohio, averaging 3.5 points and 3.5 rebounds. The head coach is Mike Matthews, 6 consecutive 20-win seasons for Mike Matthews. For OCU, back into the starting lineup tonight is Chelsea Black, 5'5" junior out of St. Paris, Ohio, 4.2 points and 3.4 rebounds. The 2 guard tonight for OCU will be Asia Woodson, 5'5" freshman out of Toledo that was the MVP of the Toledo City League a season ago. She's averaging 14 points and 4 rebounds, shooting 38% on threes. The small forward tonight for OCU will be Shelby Rowe, the school's all-time leading scorer, 5'8" senior from Middletown, Ohio, averaging 14.5 points and 3.3 rebounds. The power forward, Maritza Will, the pride of Franklin Heights High School, sophomore, averaging 5.6 points and 6 rebounds. And the man in the middle is Olivia Davis, playing game number 12 here in 2012-2013, 8.5 points and a team best 9.2 rebounds. The head coach of OCU is Mandy Ray, 101 wins, 94 losses. She wins at a clip of 52%, assisted tonight by Brenda Baker. Ray got her 100th win against OU Chillicothe just a week and a half ago. Just about set to get underway here. In the Leadership Center, and your referee for tonight's game is Matt Bolster. The umpires are Bill Bryant and Andy Godwin, and the opening tip is controlled by the team in black, UC-Clermont out of Batavia, Ohio. Here's Marissa Stutz. We talked about her a little bit in the pregame, had some technical difficulties, and I'll take the blame for most of those technical difficulties, so we didn't get to tell you as much as we would have liked. She dumped it off to Janicki there, who shuffled to feet before she put it on the floor. It's a turnover back to OCU. Some pressure by the Cougars. Both of these teams like to force turnovers and make you pay at the other end with buckets off of those turnovers. OCU breaks the pressure here. Chelsea Black to the right wing and Woodson. Rowe just left of center, around the horn to Chelsea Black, who had a night for the ages against this team a year ago in Batavia when she scored more than 30 points in that game, and just one of those nights where the bucket looked like an ocean for the then sophomore Chelsea Black.
Top of the key, it's Ashley Keith, their leading scorer. Dribble drive to the left wing, and Dutro. Back out to Jenneke. One dribble and fires a three that came up short. Didn't hit anything. Shot clock continues to wind down. Jumper there on the right wing is no good by Alex Junker, and OCU the rebound. Black to Woodson. Here's our first look at Maritza Will, who had it slide off of her hip, and it's taken away by Clermont. Keith will dribble it up the floor. Maritza Will going to get the start on Ashley Keith. Into the lane. Stutz got by her initial defender, got by the second defender, and put it up and in. First two for the senior from Hamersville. We said she's a USCAA All-American. Also gets it done in the classroom. 3.5 GPA, and there's another OCU turnover. Keith with it for the Cougars. Into the lane, off the window, up and in. Beautiful move there by the junior from Cincinnati. Second season with Clermont after a season at Cincinnati State. Trailblazers break the pressure. Here's Rowe for three, in and out. Will offensive rebound. Black tried to catch and fire, and it was deflected and taken away again. It's a 2-on-2 break. Stutz, right side. Dutro, 15-footer, no good. Junker had a hand on the rebound, but it ends up in the hands of Asia Woodson. Woodson to Chelsea Black, who says we want to set up play number one with 17:40 to play in the half. Top of the key, it's Shelby Rowe. Rowe to the free throw line extended, kicks it left wing to Chelsea Black, and what a foul is going to be charged on 21. Tess Jenneke on that left wing. Foul on Jenneke is her first, team first. 4-0 UC-Clermont here early. Rick Cooper and the Trailblazer Basketball Network. First of two tonight from the Leadership Center here on the campus of Ohio Christian University. Right side runner by Woodson, partially blocked, and back into Woodson's hands. She'll fire a three, and she hits. Somebody was late closing out on Asia Woodson. Initial jumper was blocked, but she proceeded to catch it and fire a three. 4-3 Clermont. Stutz at the other end. Free throw jumper, no. Offensive rebound, Ashley Keith, and she was fouled and will shoot two. They're going to charge it to Maritza Will. Both she and Olivia Davis were in the vicinity. Foul on Will is her first, team first, and Ashley Keith in the active shooting will step to the line and get two. UC-Clermont, a 63% free throw shooting team. Keith shoots them at a 73% clip, and the first one is no good. 73% would be good enough for a team lead on many teams, but not with Tess Jenneke shooting them at a 93% clip. 52 out of 56. Keith splits a pair, give her three in the game, and it extends the Clermont advantage to two. It's 5-3, 17 minutes to play first half. Woodson dumps it off to Black, who tried to take it to the rim, and she had it taken out of her hands. Turnover. Back to UC-Clermont. Junker with it left side. Now top of the key, it's Jenneke. Little spin, lost it, but into the hands of Junker. Shot clock is at 13. Junker a little spin, and the ball stays wedged into the rim, and they're going to need another basketball to get up there and get that basketball down, and it'll go to OCU. 16:34 to play in the half. Opportunity for Stacy Lee to check into the game. The 6'1 junior at the USCAA tournament comes in averaging 10.8 points and 6.5 rebounds. Lee, one of three juniors on this team. UC-Clermont, we talked about the USCAA national tournament. They have been there now, what, 5 straight seasons, I believe it is, with 3 third-place finishes in those 5 years, and trying to claw their way back. Got to be in the top 8 to get into that tournament. Right now they sit at 13. Right side, it's Asia Woodson. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And Woodson tried to raise up, and Marissa Stutz, with what Mike Matthews calls those Inspector Gadget arms, blocked the shot. Keith at the other end from up close, no good. And Shelby Rowe, a defensive rebound, and Rowe had it slapped out of bounds by Marissa Stutz. It'll stay with OCU. 15:59 to play opening half. Trailblazers trailing 5-3. Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. First of two tonight from here in the Leadership Center. Black underneath to Will, who went to the left hand and put it in. First two for Maritza Will. Ties this game at 5 apiece, and it allows OCU to apply a little bit of pressure, and now they back off and will pick up UC-Clermont across midcourt. Keith got the step into the lane. Her shot up close, no good again. Will, a defensive rebound. Will met her right across the timeline, and Ashley Keith got right by her to the rim, just could not finish. 15:20 to play in the half. Woodson into the lane, deflected pass ends up in the hands of Davis. This is Will. Back out Woodson, Black for 3, back of the iron, no good. And Tess Jenneke with another defensive rebound. Jenneke to Stutz, another outlet to Ashley Keith, who's trying to get into the lane and has had some opportunities, another one there that she cannot finish. Rebound Olivia Davis. And Davis will get it to Chelsea Black, who will set things up for OCU. Black to the left wing. And Asia Woodson. Woodson off a screen from Will. Little stop and start. Got to the rim and finished. Did you see the stop and start there? Got the defender to kind of raise up out of their defensive stance, and she just continued then to the rim hard and put it off the window and in. Today's game brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Be sure to try Domino's handmade pan pizza with 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust made from fresh dough. A medium 2-topping pan pizza is only $7.99 at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. Call 740-477-2541. Our next broadcast is Tuesday night in this building. The women only. We'll have Ohio Midwestern in town to take on your Trailblazers. The positive is that the Ohio Midwestern squad only with 6 players on their active roster. You would think, hey, we're going to win this game, but then you realize they have played Walsh to within 2. They knocked off Worcester, and they have knocked off KCU, the 6-time defending champs at KCU. So this is a dangerous team coming into the Leadership Center on Tuesday night. Stacy Lee, first basket from up close, the junior out of Cincinnati in the books with her first 2, but we will have that for you 6 p.m. Tuesday night. Tuesday Night Hoops presented by the Circleville Subways. Rowe off a couple screens, nothing there, kicks it right side to Black. Tiaja Smith, pride of Gahanna Lincoln High School, down the baseline, and from right baseline to left baseline, she finds Olivia Davis, who drops in a 10-footer. It's 9-7 OCU. Another substitution for Clermont as Brooke Cataro is in, and she dumps it underneath to Lee again. Lee, it reminds me of Stevens on Tuesday night, had outstanding position there. You can't let her catch it there. At the other end, there's a steal, shot up close by Bean McGraw, was slapped out of her hands and taken away by OCU. Tiaja Smith, the sometime starting point guard, didn't get the start tonight as Mandy Ray elects to go with Chelsea Black, the junior. Black off a screen, little 8-footer, a little bit too strong, and Bean McGraw the defensive rebound. McGraw to Cataro at the other end. It's Stacy Lee again. So Stacy Lee with a quick half dozen. And that one there, somebody just late getting back in transition. It's 11-9 Clermont as Katie Fuller and Shawan Gadsden get ready to check in. Runner in the lane, no good, and Lee making her presence known at the other end of the floor. She grabs a rebound and is immediately fouled by Tiaja Smith. Foul on Tiaja Smith is her first, team second. Here comes Katie Fuller, here comes Shawan Gadsden, and Ashley Keith and Lydia Hamilton check in. First appearance for Hamilton, who averages 2 points and 2.6 rebounds. Missed the entire month of December with a back injury, but proceeded to come back on Monday night and grab 10 rebounds against Southern State. So has made her presence known quickly after missing about a month with that injury. 11-9, UC-Clermont by 2. Right baseline, it's Keith. And near the timeline, that basketball run down by Brooke Cataro. Shot clock is at 10, 12:30 to play opening half. Lee working against Davis. Shot clock is at 5, and Lee just threw it away. Turnover back to OCU. 12:25 to play first half, 11-9. Trailblazers trailing by 2. Right side, it's Tiaja Smith. Davis trying to post. Instead, she goes back out to Shelby Rowe. Rowe off a screen. Step back 3, in and out. Gadsden, an offensive rebound. Her putback no good. And Lee, another defensive board and a loose ball foul. If it's on Tiaja Smith, it would be number 2. Instead, they're going to charge it to Gadsden. And so that's number 1 on Shawan Gadsden, number 3 on the team. And it remains 11-3, UC-Clermont. Smith with a near steal. Instead, they clear it, but then Ashley Keith threw it away into the hands of Davis. Gadsden, cross court to Fuller, firing a 3. She hit it. Katie Fuller in the books with her first points. Hamilton tried to close out and got a hand up, but give Katie Fuller credit for still being able to finish that one. Stacy Lee, left wing, will get it back out to Keith, and the junior from Cincinnati got the step again and got to the rim and put it in. 5 points for Ashley Keith. I'm not sure I would play that far out on Ashley Keith. She has shown the ability to get by just about anybody who picks her up that far out. I would sit back a little bit and make Miss Keith beat us with jumpers. 13-12, right baseline, it's Davis. 3 Cougars at the table as Shelby Rowe just tripled from the right wing. Caitlin Danner at the table as well with those 3 Cougars. She'll check in at the next dead ball. At the other end, Hamilton took it right at Davis, could not finish. Lee, an offensive rebound, and she dropped it in. Nearly didn't put it in as she put it on the floor and allowed a couple smaller players to get a swing at it, but they missed, and Lee raised up and got points 7 and 8. Tied at 15, nearing 10.5 minutes to play first half. Tiaja Smith had it slapped out of her hands, and OCU will keep the possession. Here comes Caitlin Danner along with now 4 Lady Cougars. So Mike Matthews empties his bench, only got 9 players in uniform tonight. Danner checks in. The freshman from Waynesville, Ohio, 1.4 points and 2.3 rebounds. This is her 10th game of the year. Shelby Rowe sits down with 3 points. Tied at 15, exactly 10:30 to play in the half. Here's Katie Fuller. Shot clock is down to 5. Fuller going to have to work against Stutz. Trying to get it to Gadsden. Davis going to fire a long 3 that missed everything, and it'll be a shot clock violation that'll give this basketball back to UC-Clermont. 10:18 to play here in the first half, tied at 15. Fuller, Gadsden, Danner, Smith, and Davis on the floor right now for OCU, and they apply some full court pressure. That leads to a turnover. Looked like Clermont was going to break it, and it was Desiree Dutro that was off the mark with that pass. Threw it out of bounds. It goes back to OCU. Lady Trailblazers with an opportunity to take the lead here. Tiaja Smith will set things up. Where's number 13 on that home white uniform, and now dribbles to the right wing to set up the offense. Looking underneath for Davis. They find Davis, double teamed, setting up Fuller with a nice cross-court pass. 3, no good. Davis got a hand on the rebound, ends up in the hands of Gadsden, and what a foul. A late call. Going to be called on Marissa Stutz, and that's her first. Maybe the best pass of the day. Olivia Davis caught it right block, was double teamed, and the pass to make out of that double team at the block is to a shooter cross court on the wing, and found Katie Fuller. That 3 just would not stay down for Fuller, went in and went out. Fuller with it top of the key now will fire a rainbow 3 that may have been partially deflected by Stutz, and it's taken away by Clermont, and another near steal and a foul near the top of the key, and I think they're going to charge it to Caitlin Danner. I will beg your pardon, they're going to charge it to Tess Jenicky, and that'll be number 2 on Jenicky, number 3 on the team here at the 9:33 mark of the first half. So Jenicky asking for an explanation from the official Andy Godwin, and I think I would as well. Look like a couple players just making a play on the basketball and didn't like a foul on either player. There's a steal by Marissa Stutz, who will go to the other end and put it in. Marissa Stutz averages nearly 4 steals per game. And she's got team leads in rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. The only category she doesn't lead in right now is scoring, averages 10.9. Ashley Keith leads this team with 15.3, and there's a traveling violation that's going to give it back to the Lady Cougars. 9:06 to play first half. Turnover does allow OCU to apply pressure, and it leads to a basket as Asia Woodson steals a pass and goes straight to the rim and drops it in. 7 already for Asia Woodson, 7 of OCU's first 17. And this time Jenneke dribbles right through the heart of that pressure and kicks it left wing to Dutro. Back out now to Ashley Keith. Keith off a screen, it's Marissa Stutz. Tried to raise up and got a dose of her own medicine as she had it taken out of her hands, and a foul to top it off is going to be charged on 22. And there is no 22, so we'll see. Looks like it's going to be have not put that foul on the board right now, but gestured 22 was what I think the men in stripes. He's still gesturing 22, and there is no 22 in uniform tonight. So if it's 22, it's Olivia Davis. She's the only one on it with a 22. Sarah Bechtel is checked in for OCU. It's going to be a foul on 21 for UC-Clermont. That's Tess Jenneke, and that is number 3 on Jenneke. So Mike Matthews comes into this game with only 9 players in uniform. Tess Jenneke averages 12.7 points per game, which is second on the team, and she's got 3 fouls here in the first 11 and a half minutes. And quickly, Lydia Hamilton to the table, you better believe, coming in for Jenneke at the next dead ball. Left baseline, it's Woodson who got the step and went to the rim and hit a little 8-footer on that baseline. 9 points for Asia Woodson, keeping OCU in this game. They lead 19-17. Right back at him at the other end. Bucket up and good for Junker. First 2 for the sophomore from Milford, Ohio. It averages 3.5 per game. At the other end, Smith no good. Bechtel a rebound, setting up Woodson for 3. She hit again. That's a dozen for the freshman from Toledo Boucher High School, Asia Woodson. It's 22-19. Quickly to the other end, Junker scores, bucket is good, and she was fouled. Couple Trailblazers in there. They're going to count the basket, and they're going to charge the foul to Caitlin Danner. It's her first, team 4th, points 3 and 4 for Alex Junker. She'll look for 5 the old-fashioned way with the 3-point opportunity here. Tess Jenneke does sit down with those 3 fouls. Jenneke sits with no points and 3 fouls, as Lydia Hamilton checks in for her. Free throws up and in for Junker. She's got 5. Shelby Rowe back in for the Trailblazers. Tiaja Smith sits down. 7:44 to play, and it looks like Lydia Hamilton never checked in. It may have been Brooke Cataro that ended up coming in for Tess Jenneke. Danner and Rowe out on the perimeter with Woodson. Gatson and Bechtel underneath the basket. Left wing, it's Danner, guarded tightly by Ashley Keith. Now to the right side, and Shelby Rowe. Rowe, little crossover, got the step into the lane, and they're going to say she shuffled the feet. Kind of took an extra step as she tried to get into the lane, and Mandy Ray wants a 30-second timeout. 7:23 to play opening half. Game tied at 22. Today's game brought to you by Domino's. Domino's handmade pan pizza with 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust made from fresh dough. A medium 2-topping pan pizza, only $7.99 at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. Call 740-477-2541. First of 2 tonight. The OCU men will be on the floor tonight at 8 p.m. Get a pregame show for that one right around 7:40. We'll check in with assistant coach Jamie Batten, give you tonight's starting lineups and much more. OCU, not usually a game where there's a rout. Last time these 2 teams played, however, OCU a 37-point win on the 30th of November, and going to try to sweep the series against UC-Clermont with the OCAC defunct and no longer in existence. Final time that we will see UC-Clermont this year. And turnover off the inbound. It must have been a foot on the baseline by Marissa Stutz. That's going to give it right back to OCU. 7:21 to play first half. Shelby Rowe will inbound. Let's see if Rowe gets a 3 on the baseline off of this play that, as I like to say, she has made her living on, having some trouble getting it in. Now they do to Woodson. Nothing there for Rowe on this possession as UC-Clermont defends well. Woodson off a screen, again changes speeds and again gets by the defender and gets to the rim. 14 for Asia Woodson, showing the full arsenal in this one, getting to the rim, hitting threes, doing it all, and there's a reach in on Woodson as she tried to pick the pocket of Ashley Keith behind the timeline. Foul on Woodson is her first and the team's 5th. 6:59 to play opening half, 24-22. Trailblazers by 2. Left wing, it's Ashley Keith. Keith back out between the circles to Dutro. Around the horn to the right wing and Stutz. 10-footer by Keith, came up short, battle for the rebound. Ends up in the hands of Gatson, but she threw it away. Keith took it away. Her 5-footer no good, and Gatson finally says enough of this, and she grabs the defensive rebound. Right side, Rowe for 3. Backside of the iron, no good. And the rebound taken away by Marissa Stutz. Long baseball pass placed perfectly to Dutro. Score the basket, and she was fouled. A spectacular pass. A one-handed pass from Marissa Stutz at 3/4 court, and it was perfectly placed to Desiree Dutro. The bucket is good. The foul is going to be charged on Shelby Rowe. It's her first, team 6. Desiree Dutro with her first points of the game. And she'll look for 3 with 1 more, and it's no good. Rebound Gatson. How many girls at this level can make that pass that Marissa Stutz just showed us? One-handed from 3/4 court. Danner with a little crossover, nicely done, but Dutro came over and helped nicely as well. Blocked her shot out of bounds. It'll stay with OCU. 6:12 to play first half. Game tied at 24. Inbound to Bechtel. Now they get Rowe off that screen left wing. Instead of shooting, gets back out to Woodson. Little shake and bake by Woodson. Got the step again. This time could not finish. And the rebound to UC-Clermont. Clermont comes in 12-14. OCU at 9-9 after that disappointing loss Tuesday night in Grayson, 76-59. Lee underneath. Little turnaround, no good. Lee an offensive rebound, and she finishes attempt number 2. That's 10 points for Stacy Lee. She is a big, big problem underneath the basket. She gives Clermont a 26-24 advantage. Woodson, and what? I think an illegal screen is going to be called on Sarah Bechtel. Top of the key, trying to free up Asia Woodson. The foul is on Bechtel. It's her first, team 7th. Bechtel will sit down as Olivia Davis is back in. Davis back in with 2 points. Bechtel sits down scoreless. Lydia Hamilton is checked in as well, along with Rochelle Bean McGraw for UC-Clermont. 5:29 to play opening half, 26-24. Trailblazers trailing by 2, as you can see on that Subway scoreboard that JT Burcham and his crew have designed so beautifully. 2-point advantage for the team from Batavia, Ohio. Top of the key, it's Rochelle Bean McGraw, guarded tightly by Gatson. Creates a little space with the dribble and goes to Hamilton. Back out to Keith, 10 on the shot clock. Runner in the lane, on the rim, no good. Ball batted around and ends up in the hands of Davis, who is immediately tied up. And the possession arrow will favor OCU. So the Trailblazers an opportunity themselves to tie or possibly take the lead. They trail by 2. It's Danner, Davis, Rowe, Gadsden, and Woodson on the floor right now. OCU's all-time leading scorer, Shelby Rowe, with the basketball. To the right wing and Danner, back to Rowe on the left wing. Gadsden trying to get some space underneath the basket. Gadsden they tried to get it to her. Danner did, but quick hands by the Cougars, and it leads to a UC-Clermont turnover. Keith deflected into the hands of Stacy Lee. Left baseline, Bean McGraw. McGraw with 1 dribble. Cross court, 15-footer by Hamilton is right there, and what? Away from the basketball, the bucket is good, and they're going to charge a foul on Asia Woodson. So we'll see. That's number 2 on Woodson. It's number 8 on the team, and with the bucket good, it should be just a single free throw here. Bill Bryant made the call, and it's a big call because it's number 2 on Woodson, and as we said, number 8 on the team. So the basket is good, and now stepping to the line is Bean McGraw for a single free throw here, and it's no good. Rebound taken away by Shelby Rowe. 28-24, UC-Clermont by 4. 4:15 to play first half. Danner, the point guard on this set, goes left wing to Rowe as Chelsea Black pops off the OCU bench, and we'll check in at the next dead ball. Also in, Destiny Turner as Rowe tried to raise up and had it blocked by Lydia Hamilton. Stutz to the other end, put it on the rim, no, but she was fouled and will shoot 2. Foul is on Shelby Rowe, and that is number 2 on Rowe. So Shelby Rowe with 2, Asia Woodson with 2 on the OCU side of things, and Tess Jenicky, the second leading scorer for the Cougars, already on Mike Matthews' bench with 3 fouls. First free throw is up and in for Marissa Stutz. Has 5 points in this game and a couple block shots already. Danner will sit down as Maritza Will is back in. Chelsea Black is back in as well. Second free throw for Stutz is good. She's got a half dozen. UC-Clermont 4 of 7 at the charity stripe in the first half for 57%. 3:45 to play opening half. Left wing, it's Chelsea Black. Top of the key, it's Rowe. Rowe off a screen from Black to the left wing. Back out to the screener, Black. And Black threw it away. Fortunate to get it back as Lee could not snag it after she nearly took it away from Maritza Will. Left wing, it's Rowe. Shot clock is at 22. Black, top of the key, her 3 hit the front of the rim, no good, and the rebound taken away by Maritza Stutz. Stutz to the left wing, and Bean McGraw picks up her dribble, tries to raise up over Will, got a good look, but it could not put it in. It goes out of bounds off of Stutz. Back to OCU. Here comes Katie Fuller, the freshman out of Proctorville, returns with 3 as Shelby Rowe sits down with 3 points and 2 fouls. So both Trailblazers with 2 fouls. Woodson and Rowe on Mandy Ray's bench right now with just about 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Coming up the halftime show, we'll take a look at the first half numbers, give you a preview of our second game of the doubleheader coming up as well. Black top of the key, and they're going to get an illegal screen, I believe, on Olivia Davis, and that is going to be the call as she tried to free up Destiny Turner at the top of the key. It's the first foul on Olivia Davis. It's number 10 on the team, and it's the second time that a foul has been called on a Trailblazer trying to free up a shooter on the perimeter. 30-24, 2:45 to play. Trailblazers now with 10 as a team, so every foul that's not on the offensive end will be 2 for Clermont at the other end, and Olivia Davis just blocked the shot of Stacy Lee. Looking to run of the Trailblazers. Fuller left side. Fuller, nobody stop basketball. Took it all the way down to the block and now brings it back out to Davis, who will get it to Black. Fuller left wing. Looking to work off a screen from Davis. Wide open, 15-footer, no good. Ashley Keith up high to grab the defensive rebound. Stutz looking to run. 3-on-2 break. Stutz, beautiful pass to Lydia Hamilton. They made eye contact coming up the floor, and it was a 3-on-2 advantage. The one player the Trailblazers did not guard, Marissa Stutz, hit in stride, and that's Lydia Hamilton, who has 4 points in this first half, and Mandy Ray wants a 30-second timeout. 2:05 to play here in the first half. 32-24. Clermont has opened their biggest lead of the game. It's at 8. Spice things up with January's featured $5 footlong sub, the Chipotle chicken and cheese sub. It's available at the Circleville Subways. Subway, eat fresh, and remember Subway every morning as well. What a deal. The 6-inch flatbread breakfast sandwich and a coffee or 20-ounce drink for only $3 at any of the Circleville Subways. You can choose from a 6-inch ham and egg, bacon and egg, or egg and cheese. Subway, eat fresh. 2:05 to play first half. 32-24. Trailblazers trail by 8. Maritza will bring it in, joined by Black, Turner, Fuller, and Davis on the floor right now for OCU. Black off a screen into the lane, kicks it left wing to Destiny Turner, 5'4" freshman from Canal Winchester that played on some state championship teams at World Harvest Prep, and went into the lane there and met Stacy Lee up close and personal, who blocked her shot. Keith picks up speed and goes straight to the rim. 7 in the first half for Ashley Keith. She has been a factor and opens up a 10-point UC-Clermont advantage. Left baseline, Fuller for 3, back of the iron, no good. Will battling for the offensive rebound, saves it inbounds to Davis. We'll get it back out to the guards and we'll reset with a fresh 30 and a minute 19 to play here in the first half. Fuller looking underneath for Davis, back out to Turner, just left of center. Her 3 backside of the iron. Davis working hard, got a rebound and what? They're gonna call her for a travel, and Mandy Ray pops off the OCU bench, not happy with the call, and is gonna talk to Bill Bryant about it. Felt like there was some contact that forced the turnover, and Bill Bryant says no, OCU with some pressure. To Ashley Keith, lob underneath to Dutro that Davis deflected. Stutz again, a one-handed pass underneath to Lee, but before she could get rid of it, they're gonna call an offensive foul on Desiree Dutro. I didn't see what Dutro did. She was right next to Marissa Stutz as she fired that basketball and did something maybe to create space for Stutz. It's number 1 on Dutro, only the 5th on the team, so no free throws here. 45 seconds to play opening half. Trailblazers trailing by 10, 34-24. Katie Fuller with it for OCU. Now to the left baseline and Black. Shot clock is at single digits and Fuller threw it away. There's those long arms by Marissa Stutz again. Stutz on the right baseline, and she was fouled either by Turner or Black. They're gonna charge the foul to Chelsea Black, and Marissa Stutz is going to get 2 free throws. The foul on Chelsea Black is her first and the team's 11th. And Marissa Stutz, the 5'7" senior from Hamersville, Ohio, played a couple seasons with her sister Kayla Stutz. First free throw is no good. Actually thought Kayla was going to come back possibly for the second semester. One of the best to ever put on the Clermont uniform, Kayla Stutz, but elected not to, and Marissa Stutz misses a pair. Rebound OCU. The first half shot clock is off. Trailblazers can hold it for 1 if they desire. Instead, Turner, 10-footer, bounces around the rim, no good, and a loose ball foul is going to be charged to Chelsea Black, and we're going to go to the other end and shoot some more free throws. I think it's Ashley Keith that will shoot these, as she's the one that Black committed the loose ball foul against. Kayla Stutz played here 2011, 2012 at Clermont, averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and again sat out the first semester, was in school at UC-Clermont, and Mike Matthews thought she would be coming back and did not appear around Christmas time for the second semester, and thinks Kayla Stutz's basketball career may now be over. So there is a younger Stutz, unfortunately. That's the bad news that Mike Matthews trying to get, that may be better than Kayla and Marissa, which is pretty scary. Ashley Keith makes both free throws. UC-Clermont now 6 of 11 from the charity stripe for 55%. Stacy Lee sits down, and OCU down a dozen will go to the other. Well, no, not yet. It's number 6 on the team on the foul there by Lydia Hamilton. It's her first, team 6th, so no free throws. Davis will inbound underneath the UC-Clermont basket. Does so to Chelsea Black. Black across the timeline with 7 seconds to play. Now down to 5. Black looking on that right side. She's gonna have to raise up. She doesn't know it. 2 seconds left. Turnaround by Craycraft. Never got there. And some poor execution on the final possession of that first half, as OCU doesn't even get a shot off. They trail 36-24 here at halftime. 20 minutes in the books. Coming up on the halftime show, a recap of the first half statistics. We'll also preview the second game of our doubleheader when OCU and the Clermont men square off. Halftime here in the Leadership Center. UC-Clermont 36, Ohio Christian 24. We'll take a timeout, a 3-minute break here on the halftime show here on the Ohio Christian University Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.
Ohio Christian University offers accredited, career-focused undergraduate and graduate degree programs for busy adults. Classes are convenient, offered online or evenings and weekends at our 12 locations. OCU will prepare you for your next step and help you discover your higher purpose.
We invite you to attend Ohio Christian University. As we enter these last days, we must train this generation now.
That God wants us to be real in this day.
I am a strong supporter of Christian education. Challenge the mind.
Our future depends upon Christian higher education.
Biblical values.
The future.
As the campus continues to grow,
new buildings and a record enrollment.
Good, sound Christian leaders.
Building a place that is making a difference in the lives of students.
business leaders, educators.
And he's trying to raise a generation of men and women who will stand and say, I will be counted for Christ. No game playing anymore.
Because the next generation is going to affect our world today.
A world needs to hear that Jesus Christ is the hope.
Ohio Christian University offers accredited, career-focused undergraduate and graduate degree programs for busy adults. Classes are convenient, offered online or evenings and weekends at our 12 locations. OCU will prepare you for your next step and help you discover your higher purpose.
We invite you to attend Ohio Christian University.
One of the slogans that we came up with was "We're number two," and that was one that seemed to take a hold because everybody would ask, "What are you saying you're number two for? You know, what are you number two about? You know, don't you want to win?" And of course we wanted to win. We wanted to be the best we could be, but we were number two because Jesus Christ was number one, and that's how we started.
The Lord has blessed all of us, and it's a time that you can't forget. It's the 4 years of your life that you'll always have memories of.
So we knew we could do it, but we finally did it. and we made it.
Halftime here in the Leadership Center and extended halftime break. Appreciate your patience with that. 36-24, UC-Clermont by a dozen. We had a back-and-forth game to the last 5 or 6 minutes of that first half when UC-Clermont really asserted themselves and took a 12-point lead. Becca delivering some halftime statistics and fixing our banner here at the intermission as well, getting a little extra. We'll pay her double tonight. So at halftime here in the Leadership Center. Let's take a look at some of the scoring numbers in this first half. Stacy Lee with 10 to lead the way for UC-Clermont, 9 for Ashley Keith, 6 for Marissa Stutz. Alex Junker added 5, Lydia Hamilton 4, and Desiree Dutro 2 points in that first half for UC-Clermont, who shot 7 of 11 from the charity stripe in that first half. Make it 6 of 11, I beg your pardon, 6 of 11 in that first half for 55%. For OCU, they were led by Asia Woodson, the only Trailblazer in double digits with 14. 3 points apiece for Shelby Rowe, Katie Fuller, and 2 points for Olivia Davis and Maritza Will. So you're down a dozen, and the big question is, imagine where this lead would be without Asia Woodson. She's really been the only Trailblazer that has really gotten it going to this point. 14 points in the first half, and again, everybody else has 10. So again, Asia Woodson 14, the rest of the team 10. She's really done it in a variety of ways, has hit some shots from the perimeter, but most of it just a lot of stopping and starting. Woodson does a real nice job changing speeds and her getting to the rim, and that's one of the keys to being a good basketball player. It's not always the quickest player, but it's the guy that knows how to change speeds, get you sleeping a little bit, and did a nice job in the first half, did the freshman from Toledo, Ohio. And maybe a surprising stat in that first half, Trailblazers didn't attempt a single free throw. 0 of 0 in that first half for OCU. Taking a look at some of the team numbers here in the first 20 minutes in terms of the battle of the backboards. Ohio Christian a 19-18 advantage there. OCU really having trouble with the UC-Clermont pressure. 15 turnovers in that first half. I'm sure that's something that Mandy Ray talking about right now in the OCU locker room. Clermont turned it over 9 times in that first half. Leading rebounder for OCU in the first 20 minutes is Shawan Gatson, who came off the bench and grabbed 5 boards. Leading rebounder for UC-Clermont, Ashley Keith, Marissa Stutz, and Stacy Lee. I beg your pardon, it's Lee and Stutz that have 6 rebounds apiece in that first half. So leading assist man for UC-Clermont, Maritza Stutz, with 3 of those in the first 20 minutes, and OCU with a couple players with a single assist apiece in that first half. So 36-24, Ohio Christian hoping to split the season series, but it has been all UC-Clermont here in the first half. They lead by a dozen here at the intermission. We'll take a break. The OCU men on the floor right now will tell you about their game, the second half of our doubleheader, when they take on the UC-Clermont men. We'll talk about it after this 2-minute timeout here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike. 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.
As we enter these last days, we must train this generation now.
That God wants us to be real in this day.
I am a strong supporter of Christian education. Challenge the mind.
Our future depends upon Christian higher education.
Biblical values.
The future.
As the campus continues to grow,
New buildings and a record enrollment.
Good, sound Christian leaders.
Building a place that is making a difference in the lives of students.
business leaders, educators,
and he's trying to raise a generation of men and women who will stand and say, I will be counted for Christ. No game playing anymore.
Because the next generation is going to affect our world today.
A world needs to hear that Jesus Christ is the hope.
Second half underway, 36-24. Trailblazers trailing by a dozen. And there's a steal to start the second half as Woodson had it. Got it to Rowe, lost it to Marissa Stutz, and a foul is going to be called, I believe, on Shelby Rowe. And that is going to be the case as she and Tess Jenicky, I beg your pardon, not Marissa Stutz, banging a little bit. And that's going to be number 3 on Shelby Rowe, number 1 on the team. And so Jenicky back out there with 3 fouls and picks up a quick third one on Shelby Rowe, and a reach in by Woodson is slapped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars. 19:18 to play in the game, just underway here in the second half. Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. Desiree Dutro to Ashley Keith, 17-footer knuckleball, hit the front of the rim, no good, and Shelby Rowe a defensive rebound. Rowe with it between the circles, off a screen to the right wing, and Olivia Davis. Davis back out to Woodson. Underneath, threw it away. Tried to get it to Chelsea Black, and it was intercepted by Marissa Stutz. The Trailblazers have not been in sync offensively tonight. They were not in sync on Tuesday night either. Struggling right now on the offensive end. 3 no good, and the rebound to the Lady Trailblazers. Right side, it's Asia Woodson. Let's see if they can get a good look here. Woodson off a screen from Davis. Back to the screener Davis, who now gets it back to Woodson. Into the lane, setting up Rowe. Left side, 3 is right there. Little dribble drive. It wasn't much. You don't have to do much, just enough to get the defense to react. And Shelby Rowe doing what she does best, spotting up on the perimeter and shooting threes. 36-27. The lead is 9. Stutz now to the right wing, and Keith. Keith will get it to Jenna Keith, guarded by Rowe. Both players playing with 3 fouls. Free throw line extended. Stutz to the right side. Runner by Keith, no good. Jenna Keith, offensive rebound. Her rainbow shot missed everything. Junker, an offensive rebound. Into the lane. Shot up close, no good by Stutz. Another offensive rebound. Keith finally put it up and in. How many was that? 4 offensive rebounds in that possession right there. It's 38-27. Tiaja Smith to the table for OCU. She'll check in at the next dead ball. Left side, it's Woodson off a screen from Will to the middle of the floor. To the right block. Put it up off the glass. No good. Ball slapped out of bounds off the sophomore Maritza Will, and back to UC-Clermont. Here comes Tiaja Smith. Smith returns scoreless. Asia Woodson sits down with 14 points and 2 fouls. Trailblazers do have an opportunity on the dead ball to set up pressure, and there's a steal. Woodson slapped it away, ends up in Will's hands to the rim with the left hand and in. 4 points for Maritza Will, 38-29. The lead is 9. OCU with some pressure. Dangerous pass there by Stutz to Jenicky, and it taken away from behind by Tiaja Smith. So a couple turnovers here. Let's see if OCU can capitalize again. Chelsea Black will set things up here for OCU. Guarded by Ashley Keith. Again, Will comes over to set a screen. Back to the screener. 15-footer by Will. No good. Offensive rebound. Davis, who tried to bring it back out, and there's those long arms from Stutz again. Stutz to the other end. Put it up and in. 8 points for Maritza Stutz. I'm not sure I have seen a better basketball player at the small college level than Maritza Stutz. I mean, she just can do it all. Defensively, passing, shooting, rebounding, and Shelby Rowe just hit her third 3 of the game. 9 points for the senior from Middletown. Set that all-time record for scoring here at OCU back on the 2nd of November when she broke Brenda Baker's record. Now an assistant coach on the OCU bench. 40-32. Keith to the left side and Stutz. Around the horn right side to Jenicky. Dutro underneath to Junker. Little turnaround on the rim, no good. Keith had her hands on it, and it looked like it went off of Keith's leg after she couldn't control it. Boy, did it look like that ball was slapped off of the knee of Ashley Keith, but nobody arguing. It happened at the opposite end of the floor, away from the OCU coaching staff, which is probably a good thing if you're the men in stripes. Right baseline, it's Stutz underneath to Keith. Established herself, raised up, no good. Dutro an offensive rebound and put it in. Chelsea Black late closing out on Desiree Dutro, and Dutro at 5'9". Made 5'5". Chelsea Black pay the price there. It's 42-32. The lead is 10. Shelby Rowe, straight away 3. Got it! Rowe with 12, heating up, 9 already here in the first 4 minutes and 40 seconds of the second half. And there's a near steal. Is it? Junker lost the basketball, and she tried to call a timeout in midair, fading out of bounds. And referee umpire Bill Bryant says, I don't give that call. Drives me nuts when referees do. And it's a turnover back to OCU, 42-35. Trailblazers, who were trailing by a dozen at the intermission, have cut it to 7, and they have an opportunity to get even closer here. Smith into the lane, no, but she'll shoot 2. Guilty party here, Maritza Stutz. It's her second, and it's the team's 7th. So Tiaja Smith, as we said, the pride of Lincoln High School in Gahanna, Ohio, will step to the line where she is a 29% free throw shooter, and the first one is up and in. First point of the game for Tiaja Smith. OCU shoots free throws at a 67% clip, and these are the first free throws of the game for the Trailblazers. And Smith hits a pair, so she's in the books with 2, and the lead is down to 5. It's 37-32. Trailblazers again apply pressure. Keith with a long pass to Stutz on the right baseline. Picked up tightly by Tiaja Smith. Back out to Keith, who has made her living in the lane. Gets into the lane, kicks it off left wing to Hamilton. Shot no good. Offensive rebound and a fresh 30 for UC-Clermont. They lead 42-37. 14:38 to play in the game. Keith left elbow. Back out to Hamilton, now to Stutz with 15 on the shot clock. Stutz trying to find a crease. Instead underneath to Keith, and her shot no good. But some contact there. Will was there. Davis was there. And they're going to charge the foul to Maritza Will. It's her second and the team's second here in the second half. And so Stacy Lee, the junior from Cincinnati, will step to the line and shoot 2, and the first one is no good. Lee has had some missed time over the years with a broken foot. Missed the entire 2010-2011 season. Had a baby boy along the way, now 3 years old, Jordan, that obviously caused her to miss some time, but playing her 3rd year for Mike Matthews and having a nice season, averaging right around 11 a game. She splits a pair here and has 11 in this game, 43-37. 14:20 to play in the game. Davis, straightaway three, no good. Chelsea Black, offensive rebound in the land of the Giants, goes left baseline to Rowe. Back out to Black, fires it underneath to Davis, setting up Rowe for three. Front side of the rim, no good. Offensive rebound, Will, no, but she was fouled and will go to the line and get two. That's the best ball movement I've seen in the past two games for OCU. Did a real nice job of moving the ball fast and got a good look by Shelby Rowe. The foul is charged to Bean McGraw. It's her first. And the team's second here in the second half. And Maritza Will's first free throw is no good. Trailblazers now 2 of 3 from the line and make it 2 out of 4 as Will can't make either, but Shelby Rowe an offensive rebound. She'll fire a three, no good. Chelsea Black offensive board and dropped it in. First two for Chelsea Black. Mike Matthews wants to talk about it. He's called a full timeout here with 13:55 to play in the game. Let's take it with him. Trailblazers within 4. It's Clermont 43, OCU 39. You're listening to Ohio Christian University basketball here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
(877-7-OCU now), or visit us at ohiochristian.edu.
Coming with pies. Yeah, he got called to Chillicothe. They brought a strip, so I didn't end up using it. 13:55 to play in the game. Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. A good crowd filing into the Leadership Center tonight. They've got some youth groups coming in, some basketball teams, and a good doubleheader tonight against one of the best teams that OCU faces on a regular basis as Tiaja Smith gets called for a foul quickly on the inbound. It's number 2 on Smith, number 3 on the team with 13:52 to play in the game. Bean McGraw sits down back in after a quick breather as Marissa Stutz with 8 points. Kataro inbounded the basketball and Shelby Rowe immediately slapped it out of bounds. This has been a great series. Didn't get any better than November 30th when OCU took a lead late with about 7 seconds, I think, left in that game when Stacy Lee, off of some dribble drive at the other end, got free at the left block to put one in at the buzzer. 61-60 to win in Batavia. Trailblazers, again, trying to split this season series, best they've ever done. They won 2 out of 3 a couple years back against this Clermont team as Lee tried to raise up underneath and couldn't put it in. It was 2010, 2011 when they took 2 out of 3, including the OCAC championship. Clermont won both meetings in 2011, 2012, and has taken the opening meeting here in 2012, 2013. So it's a rivalry that continues, even though the OCAC has ceased to exist. Both of these programs love playing against each other, and will continue to do so as a foul is called at the other end, and it's going to be charged to Tiaja Smith, I believe. Let's see who they charge this to. It is going to be Tiaja Smith, and it's number 3, non-shooting foul. It's 4th on OCU here in the second half. Quick inbound, and it's deflected and taken away. Trailblazers ahead in transition. Smith to the other end. Stutz got those arms up again and got another piece. OCU keeps the possession, however, with 20 on the shot clock and under 13 minutes to play in the game. Smith to the left wing and Rowe. Shot clock is down to 12. Rowe off a screen, top of the key 3, hit the front of the rim, no good. And Stutz the defensive rebound. It's a 3-on-2 break. Stutz straight to the rim, nobody stopped basketball, and she put it in. Young players watching this broadcast, the first thing you must do on a 3-on-2 break, if your back is one of those two, is you've got to stop basketball and force the player with the ball to get rid of it. And nobody did that. Marissa Stutz wisely took it right to the rim and dropped it in. She's in double digits with 10. Will, 3 at the other end. Make that Davis. Shot no good. Kataro and Smith battling, and the ball went out of bounds off of Tiaja Smith. And back to UC-Clermont. Danner is in. Black will sit down. Danner returns scoreless. Chelsea Black sits down with 2 points and 2 fouls. Ashley Keith sits down. As Stacy Lee is back in for her. 45-39. Some pressure again by OCU. Cleared with a pass from Hamilton to Stacy Lee. Left baseline, it's Dutro. Back out left wing, Kataro will fire a line drive 3, no good. Tiaja Smith the rebound. Smith ahead of the pack again. Here comes Stutz again, who blocked another one. And they're going to say she got some of the body as well, or part of the hand. And Stutz doesn't like the call. It's number 3 on her. It's number 3 on the team. And Smith to the free throw line where she'll shoot 2. Tiaja Smith has already hit 2 free throws in this game. Trailblazers with free throws 5 and 6 here. And the first one is no good. Here comes Shawan Gadsden for OCU and Tess Jenicky for UC-Clermont. Will sits down for the Trailblazers, and Marissa Stutz a quick breather with those 3 personal fouls at the 11:51 mark. Second free throw, rim, backboard, rim and in. So Tiaja Smith now 3 of 4 at the charity stripe, and OCU able to apply some more pressure. Oh, looked like she traveled, and she sure did. Matt Bolster, the referee, was right there and didn't blow the whistle, and give credit to Bill Bryant all the way on the other side of the floor that saw that extra step and turnover. We'll give it back to OCU. Trailblazers within 5. 11:46 to play in the game. Quick inbound to Rowe. 3, back of the rim, no good. And boy, did Stacy Lee put a butt in the gut right there and shielded Olivia Davis nicely and grabbed the defensive rebound. 45-40, right side Kataro. Top of the key, it's Jenicky. Jenicky off the dribble drive from Keith underneath to Lee, got around Davis and went to the rim again. 13 for Stacy Lee. And it's 47-40. Trailblazers down 7. Underneath Davis, little left hand, beautifully done. Lee may be bigger, but Davis quicker, and Davis with a quick move to the middle of the floor and a left-handed scoop shot, she put it in. Right baseline, right wing, jumper in and out, offensive rebound by Stacy Lee. No good, but she was hammered, and she'll get 2. And the guilty party is Tiaja Smith, who has picked up 4 quick ones in this basketball game. It's the team's 5th, and a couple free throws for Stacy Lee. Free throws 14 and 15 for UC-Clermont. 7 of 13 right now for 54%, and the first one is up and in for Stacy Lee. 14 points for Lee. Woodson will come in. Woodson returns with 14 points and 2 fouls. Tiaja Smith sits down with 3 points and 4 fouls. 10:53 to play in the game. Stacy Lee, 1 more free throw, bends the knees and fires, rim, backboard, rim and in. 15 for Lee, 49-42. UC-Clermont by 7, the number 13 ranked team in the USCAA Division II. They have gone to 2 divisions in that league beginning this year. As Woodson in the lane, no good. Offensive rebound, Davis again went to the left hand and put it in. 6 points for Olivia Davis. There's now a D1 and D2 in the USCAA, separated by whether or not you give scholarships, kind of just like the NCCAA. Claremont, a D2 school, non-scholarship, trying to get into the 8-team national tournament. 3 automatic berths, right side. 3 is right there by Jenicky. First points of the game for the sophomore from Bethel, Ohio. Tell you more about that tournament in a moment. Left side, it's Woodson. Off a screen from Davis. Got the step into the lane. Shot blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with OCU. It used to be a 16-team tournament when the Division I, Division II was all lumped together. Now they've split it up. It's 8 teams, 3 automatic berths. The host school, the winner of the Yankee Conference, and the winner of the Penn State League all get automatic bids. So that leaves 5 berths left. Basically, Clermont got to be near that top 5 to get in. They currently sit at number 13. Keith to the rim, no good. Rebound into the hands of Danner for OCU, 52-44. Clermont has been to the national tournament 5 straight years, and Ganson threw it over the head of Shelby Rowe. So going to have to do some work to get into the national tournament again, sitting at number 13 in the nation and needing to be at least in the top 8. If they're in the top 8 and the top 3 or 3 of the top 8 or get those automatic bids, then they would still make it. So they're at least 5 positions away from getting into the USCAA national tournament that is played on the Penn State Fayette campus in late February. 52-44, Shelby Rowe will sit down as Fuller is back in. OCU, as most of you know, has gotten up all the way up to the national runners-up a couple years ago, a couple third-place finishes as well, as Jenneke just hit another 3. 6 for Jenneke, lead back up to double figures. It's 55-44 as we near 9 minutes to play. Danner trying to answer, no good for 3. Keith the rebound, trying a long outlet, deflected into the hands of Jenneke to the rim, no good. Gatson the rebound. Gatson had it, lost it, and a loose ball foul is going to be called on either Jenneke or Dutro, and they're going to charge this to test Jenneke, and it's number 4 on Jenneke, number 4 on the team. 8:55 to play, 55-44. Trailblazers trailing by 11. Clermont has had 3 third-place finishes to finish that thought in their national tournament, the USCAA. OCU with a couple thirds and 1 second of late in the NCCAA 2 tournament, which will once again be here on the Ohio Christian University campus. Dump underneath to Danner off the right block, and she was fouled from behind, and it's going to be Desiree Dutro, number 1 on Dutro, and already number 5 on the team here with 8:39 to play in the game. Inbound to Woodson, quick catch, fire, and hits. Asia Woodson, first points of the second half, 17 in the game, and it's 55-47. Keith, with the help of Kataro, clears the OCU pressure. Right side, it's Jenneke playing with those 4 fouls. Underneath Dutro, double pumped and dropped it in. That's a tough shot with big Olivia Davis coming at you, arms extended. Dutro got a little extra room with the double pump and dropped it in, and at the other end, a loose ball foul, I believe, going to be called on Davis, and it is. Fouling Olivia Davis is her second, 6th on the team. So Clermont will shoot free throws on every OCU foul the rest of the way. 8:05 to play in the game. 57-47 is our score. Kataro to the left wing. Now left wing, Jenneke. Free throw line extended. It's Junker. Tried a scoop shot and a late foul call by the men in stripes. It may be the right call. It's going to be on Davis. It's her 3rd, team 7th, but Andy Godwin was a day late and $1 short with that call, and he rewarded Junker with a shot that looked very close to her last name. Looked like a lot of junk that was going to be thrown up, and Godwin bailed her out. 7:50 to play, 57-47. First free throw is no good. Maybe that's justice. Shelby Rowe back in. Woodson will sit down. Woodson down with 17. Shelby Rowe back with a dozen. 9 of those 12 for the senior Shelby Rowe here in the second half. One more, and the second one is up and in. So Junker splits a pair, give her a half dozen. Bechtel into the game after the made free throw as Davis sits down. Davis sits with 6, and the sophomore from Kilbourne High School, Sarah Bechtel, back in scoreless. So not a lot of offensive punch right now on the floor. Fuller can put it in. Bechtel obviously can shoot it, but Fuller just threw it away. Pass off the mark to Shelby Rowe, right wing. It's an unforced error, and Mandy Ray doesn't like it, the way things are brewing right here, the way things are developing, and She wants a full timeout. We'll take it with him. 7:43 to play in the game. Clermont by 11, 58-47. You're listening to Lady Trailblazer basketball here on the Ohio Christian University Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I knew that attending Ohio Christian University
would prepare me for whatever lies ahead.
What I didn't know is how I would pay for my education.
I wondered how complex the process was, and if I would be eligible to receive financial aid.
Well, that's when I found the OCU Financial Aid website.
At Ohio Christian, the process is simple.
The OCU Financial Aid website provided me with the information I needed to start and complete the process. I learned how to fill out my free application for federal student aid. Soon after completing my FAFSA, an Ohio Christian Financial Aid counselor determined which aid was available for me and answered all my questions about my options.
Options like grants and work study,
student loans and scholarships.
An Ohio Christian University education is within my reach.
If you are concerned about finances, as I used to be, I encourage you to take the next step.
Fill out your FAFSA today.
For assistance, call Ohio Christian University at 1-877-7-OCU now or visit us at ohiochristian.edu.
58-47 as we get back to basketball. Runner by Junker is no good, and the rebound is Shelby Rowe for the Trailblazers. Bechtel left side, now gets it to Fuller, who will set things up. Right wing with Shelby Rowe. Rowe guarded tightly by Keith. Back out to Danner. Shot clock is at 12. This is Katie Fuller, the freshman from Southern Ohio, just across the border from Huntington, West Virginia. In Proctorville, right side runner by Gadsden is well off the mark, and the rebound for UC-Clermont. Trailblazers have had their moments, but have really had a lot of struggles in the offensive end of the floor. 58-47, 6:45 to play. Give credit to Clermont, who does a great job defensively. Keith no good, but cleaning up the trash is Dutro, who went to the left hand and dropped in another one. 60-47. Lead is 13, with time becoming a factor here. It's under 6.5 to play. Fuller between the circles to the right wing now, and Danner. Chelsea Black going to come in and try to run this offense and get it going a little bit. Left side Fuller to Gadsden. Turnaround from 10 feet, in and out, and the rebound into the hands of Alex Junker, the sophomore from Milford, Ohio. Second-year player. We'll get it to Ashley Keith, the junior from Cincinnati. Left side, it's Marissa Stutz. Stutz into the lane, or near the lane, I should say, and now continues towards the rim. Runner right side, no good. Good defense there by Fuller. Fuller looking to run. It's a 2-on-2 break. Fuller straight down the lane. Went to the left hand, could not finish. Offensive rebound was slapped out of bounds as she tried a little sweeping hook. And I know I'm beating a dead horse, but against most players, she gets that shot off. The long arms of Stutz a factor again. 5:44 to play. Let's see if they can get Rowe on that three-pointer from the baseline. Keith guards it well, and nothing there for Shelby Rowe. Give credit there to Mike Matthews. Scouted well. Baseline to the left elbow to Davis, and her shot is no good. And a foul is going to be charged to Desiree Dutro. It's number 3 and number 6 on the team. So Olivia Davis, the player of the year last year in the OCC Central Division, played at Central Crossing High School in Grove City. It's a pretty big honor. OCC basketball up in Columbus, pretty good. I've seen some of it. I do some high school play-by-play, and for Olivia Davis to get the MVP of an entire conference up there says something about what she was able to do as Davis hits a pair, and it's now 60-49. Stacy Lee standing near midcourt. She'll check in at the next dead ball. Lead is 11 as we go near 5 minutes to play in the game. Free throw line extended. It's Jenneke. Good defense by Davis, who played straight up, forced her into a bad shot, grabs the rebound and a quick outlet to Chelsea Black. Great defense by the freshman. Here's Black for 3. She got it. Trailblazers with a little mini run here. They have cut it to 8, 60-52, under 5 minutes to play in the game. Left wing, it's Dutro and Mike Matthews before the Cougars can run this offensive set, is elected to call a 30-second timeout. Gives me a chance to tell you, if you're hungry, got a great option. It's try Domino's handmade pan pizza with 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust that is made from fresh dough. A medium 2-topping pan pizza, only $7.99 at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. Call 740-477-2541. UC-Clermont continues on the road tonight. They will spend the night in Cambridge and then head up, 41 miles, I think, 41 minutes, Mike Matthews said, to Kent State Tuscarawas tomorrow at 1 p.m. The Clermont men were supposed to make that trip as well, but Kent State Tuscarawas called earlier in the year and said, we're just going to forfeit both of our games. So they've already forfeited one in Batavia, and they'll forfeit tomorrow's, which will be Clermont. Believe it or not, it'll be the Clermont men's first road win of the year. They are, I think, 0-11 on the road coming in tonight's game. There's a steal by Stutz. Stutz 2-on-1. Stutz took it at Black and took it to the rim and dropped it in. That's a dozen for Marissa Stutz. Big play there. Trailblazers had a chance to get within 6 or maybe 5. Left side, it's Bechtel. 10-footer on the rim, no. Rebound battled for and ends up in the hands of, you guessed it, Marissa Stutz. Stutz an outlet to Dutro, to Keith. And Keith will bring it back out and reset with 20 on the shot clock and 4 minutes to play in the game. 62-52, Cougars by 10. Dutro, right side, Davis blocked her shot. Good defense again by Olivia Davis. Rowe to the other end. Drop steps or pump fakes. Puts it up, no good. Bechtel a rebound, no good. Davis got a hand on it and was clobbered and should shoot too. As long as they say she was in the act of shooting. The foul is on Desiree Dutro. It's number 4 on her. Number 7 on the team. Here comes Bean McGraw. She'll check in after the first free throw from Olivia Davis. Free throws 9 and 10 for OCU. And Olivia Davis, a 75% free throw shooter, will go to the line and get 2. The first one is right there. 9 for Davis, 75%. Third on this team, behind Rowe at 81% and Kara Zwick at 80%. Zwick not in uniform tonight. Mandy Ray telling me pregame she's about a week and a half away from being able to put the uniform on again. Zwick had left the team and now has decided she wants to come back, and so that'll be a big addition when they get the services of senior Kara Zwick back right around the 1st of February. 62-54, lead is down to 8. 3:33 to play in the game. Trailblazers need stops, and they need them now. Right wing, it's Keith. Right elbow, it's Stutz. Stutz picked up her dribble, dumps it off to Lee. Lee into the lane, put it up on the rim and in. 17 for Stacy Lee. She and Stutz combining there. They have 29 together in this game. 29 of Clermont's 64. Black left wing, dumps it off to Rowe, back to Black. Fires another 3 and hits again. 8 points for the junior, Chelsea Black. All of them here in the second half. 64-57. The lead is down to 7 with 2:53 to play in the game. Right side, it's Keith. Keith got the step on that right baseline and dropped it in. 13 for Ashley Keith, 66-57. Screen setting up Chelsea Black into the lane, goes left baseline to Rowe. Guarded tightly by Ashley Keith, who's done a real nice job in that matchup. Davis near the right elbow, and a foul is going to give a 1-and-1 opportunity for Shelby Rowe, or Olivia Davis, I beg your pardon. They're going to charge the foul to Stacy Lee. It's her first, team 8th, so it is a 1-and-1. Here comes Jenicky back. Sitting down is Bean McGraw. McGraw sits scoreless. Jenicky back in with 6 points and 4 fouls. Davis, first free throw is too strong, and the rebound into the hands of Stacy Lee, who was immediately fouled. Trailblazers going to try to extend this game a little bit. The foul is going to be charged to Shelby Rowe, and that's number 4 on Rowe, number 8 on the team. So it's still a 1-and-1 opportunity. Both teams with 8 fouls as a team, and Stacy Lee, a 61% free throw shooter, to the other end. There are some players wearing black that are great victims in terms of committing fouls and extending the basketball game against. McGraw 35%, Junker 40%, Dutro 47%. Runner by Black left side, no good. Lee had a hand on it. Davis got it, but then fired it underneath the basket, and Davis is asking for a tip that is not called. 2:13 to play, 66-57. Kataro is a 50% free throw shooter as well, so several options. Kataro back here behind the timeline. Stutz with it right now to the left side. Jenicky, she's the one you do not want to foul, shooting better than 90%. Left baseline, Keith, no good. A lot of contact, nothing called. Danner with it for OCU. Under 2 minutes to play. The lead is 9. Trailblazers need baskets. They need them fast. Dangerous cross-court pass deflected by Keith into the hands of Rowe. 15-footer by Davis is no good, and a loose ball foul to the other end. I believe it's going to be charged to Chelsea Black, and it is. It's her third. Team ninth, so Keith still has to make the front end of the 1-and-1 here to get a second. Clermont right now 10 of 18 as a team from the charity stripe in this game for 56%. Once again, the players to foul that are on the floor right now, looks like the best option would be Brooke Kataro, 5 of 10 from the charity stripe coming in for 50%, but we're not going to see those free throws from Ashley Keith until we take a break. We'll take a break with 1:42 to play, 66-57 Clermont. You're listening to the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I knew that attending Ohio Christian University
would prepare me for whatever lies ahead.
What I didn't know is how I would pay for my education.
I wondered how complex the process was, and if I would be eligible to receive financial aid.
Well, that's when I found the OCU Financial Aid website.
At Ohio Christian, the process is simple.
The OCU Financial Aid website provided me with the information I needed to start and complete the process. I learned how to fill out my free application for federal student aid. Soon after completing my FAFSA, an Ohio Christian Financial Aid counselor determined which aid was available for me and answered all my questions about my options.
Options like grants and work study,
student loans and scholarships.
An Ohio Christian University education is within my reach.
If you are concerned about finances, as I used to be, I encourage you to take the next step.
fill out your FAFSA today.
1-and-1 opportunity here for Ashley Keith, a 73% free throw shooter. Keith bends the knees and hits, so she'll have one more. Keith working on a 14-point night, one of 3 Cougars in double digits, 17 for Lee, 14 for Keith, and 12 for Marissa Stutz. Second one for Keith is good again, so 15 for Ashley Keith, and extends this to a 9-point game as we near 90 seconds to play. Rowe threw it away, and it's taken away by Tess Jenicky. Jenicky to Keith. Again, they get it to Jenicky out of the baseline, and Desiree Dutro, who's a 47% shooter. Jenicky, again, the one you don't want to foul. Dutro would be a great one. Kataro as well. They get it over to Keith, and a foul is going to be called on Danner with 1:15 left to play. And Ashley Keith going to go right back to the free throw line. It is the first, or beg your pardon, the second on the freshman from Waynesville, Caitlin Danner. It's number 10 on the team, and Ashley Keith working on a 15-point night. First free throw is no good. 10th on the team, so 2 free throws for Keith, regardless of what she did there on the first. 1:15 to play. Second free throw for Keith is no good again, so the lead remains at 9. Trailblazers have got to hurry down the floor and get points in a hurry. Left side, it's Danner on the floor into the lane, drops it off to Davis, pumps, shot no good, but she was fouled and will shoot 2. If it's on Jenicky, it's number 5. Instead, they charge it to Dutro, and that is number 5. So take your pick. Somebody was leaving the game early, and it's going to be Desiree Dutro, whose night is over with 8 points and 5 fouls. Stacy Lee is going to step to the scorer's table and come in for her, and Mike Matthews has a period of time to make a decision, and the umpire Bill Bryant was coming over to make him aware of that, and Stacy Lee was already at the table. So decision made. 2 free throws coming up here for Olivia Davis. Bechtel, Rowe, and Black will sit down. It's going to be offense for defense. Going to keep those 3 3-point shooters close to Mandy Ray. As Davis puts the first one in, she has 11. Got a couple players out there she wants to use for steals, and if they don't get an immediate steal, Trailblazers will foul and will extend this basketball game. It's a dozen for Davis, and a foul on Tiaja Smith, who was trying to force a jump ball, and instead it is foul number 5 on Tiaja Smith. 3 points and 5 fouls today for the freshman from Gahanna Lincoln High School, and Smith will sit down. A couple other Trailblazers will sit down as well, Destiny Turner and Shawan Gadsden. So Turner and Gadsden will stay close to Mandy Ray. The shooters back in, talking about Bechtel, Black, and Rowe. They join Danner and Davis. Brooke Cataro, only a 50% free throw shooter, and forget the statistics. Cataro steps to the line and confidently hits the first. Let's say hello to Coach Mike Matthews' son, listening in Alexandria, Virginia, to today's broadcast. Benjamin, I believe, was his name. 69-59, and there's a steal by Stacy Lee, and Benjamin going to be happy down in the state of Virginia because it looks like Dad going to get win number 13 here in 2012-2013, and Matthews working on 6 consecutive seasons with at least 20 wins. And that's going to be tested this year. The Cougars would have to win out, basically, for them to have another 20-win season. Their schedule's obviously gotten tougher with the elimination of the OCAC and some of the cupcakes that were in that league. And with a tougher schedule have come fewer victories and more losses. But 18 points now for Stacy Lee. Still has an opportunity. Would have to win a game or 2 at the USCAA, which right now there's still no guarantee the Cougars will get in, but this is a nice step for UC-Clermont. They'll get their 3rd consecutive win. They'll win 4 times in 5 games, and an illegal screen is going to be called on Chelsea Black, who tried to set up Sarah Bechtel on the left wing. I believe is going to be the call with 45.5 seconds left. 70-59. Here comes Katie Fuller to join this group with Tiaja Smith on the bench. So it'll be Fuller, Turner, and Gadsden that'll try to come in and apply some pressure and force some steals. But the lead now is 11 points, 70-59. Lydia Hamilton with it to Keith, about a 15-second differential between shot clock and game clock. And a foul is going to be called on Katie Fuller, trying to slow down Tess Jenicky. Foul on Fuller is her first, and the team well over the limit. So we get a look at Tess Jenicky at the charity stripe, who comes in a 93% free throw shooter, 52 of 56, and make it 53 of 57 as Jenicky hits the first. UC-Clermont now unofficially 15 of 27 at the charity stripe. One more for Tess Jenicky. Jenicky, one of 3 sophomores on this UC-Clermont team, and she hits again. So 8 points for Jenicky, 72-59, under a half minute to play. Black's 3 right side, no good. Rebound Ashley Keith. Jenicky the rebound, and she will bring it back out. No 10-second violation in the college women's game. There is in the high school women's game, and going to call a travel on Tess Jenicky. That's going to give it back to OCU with 11.5 seconds left. OCU is going to drop under 500. They're going to drop to 9-10, and they are back in this building on Tuesday night with a tough test against Ohio Midwestern. Only has 6 players, but again, they have had some impressive wins here in 2012-2013. Clermont's going to win by the final of 72-59 as the final horn sounds here in the Leadership Center. They sweep the season series, winning 62-61 in Batavia back on the 30th of November, and they win tonight in the Leadership Center by the final of 72-59. Coming up, an abbreviated postgame. We'll take a look at some of the final numbers and then shift gears and get you ready for the OCU and Clermont men. 72-59 the final. 2-minute timeout here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike. 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.
As we enter these last days, we must train this generation now. That God wants us to be real in this day.
I am a strong supporter of Christian education. Challenge the mind.
Our future depends upon Christian higher education.
Biblical values.
The future.
As the campus continues to grow,
New buildings and a record enrollment.
Good, sound Christian leaders.
Building a place that is making a difference in the lives of students.
business leaders, educators,
and he's trying to raise a generation of men and women who will stand and say, I will be counted for Christ. No game playing anymore.
Because the next generation is going to affect our world today.
A world needs to hear that Jesus Christ is the hope.
Well, obtaining a college degree is important to me because I'm a single mother. I work full-time and I want a better life for me and my son, and I realize I'm the only one that can do that.
I needed the convenience of being able to work full-time, as well as still get my bachelor's degree in psychology, as well as be a part of a family and be a wife.
Obtaining a college degree to me means that I can further my career in getting a better job, as well as meeting my end goal, which would be to become a professor someday.
Here at Ohio Christian University, we offer programs in a convenient format
to help serve the adult that might not have time to go to school during the day or take classes multiple days during the week. We offer classes one night a week. You take one class at a time, either in an on-site format, or if you prefer online, we offer online classes just the same, one class at a time.
The AGS program is set up to where it's very convenient for me as a working adult to be able to still obtain my bachelor's degree.
The flexibility is very good with the AGS program. I can do my homework whenever I have time, whether it's at night or if I'm up early in the morning, I can do it at that time. And really you can work a full-time job and go to school full-time at the same time. So convenience is one of the greater advantages to the AGS program.
The sky is the limit with the flexibility at Ohio Christian University.
You have the option to attend class at one of our 12 locations, and you can choose whichever is most convenient, closest to your home or closest to your workplace. If that doesn't work for you, you also have the option to take class online without ever having to step foot into a classroom. One other neat aspect is that you only have to register for all of your classes one time. There's no standing in line and no additional waiting.
We invite you to attend Ohio Christian University.
Final score 72-59, UC-Clermont a winner. They outscore OCU 36-24 in the first and outscore them 36-35 in the second to pick up win number 13 here in 2012-2013. Lady Trailblazers dropped to 9-10. They are back in action Tuesday night against Ohio Midwestern College, a 6 p.m. tip. UC-Clermont with the win improves to 13-14. And again, they are back in action tomorrow, 1 p.m. at Kent State Tuscarawas. They'll spend the night tonight in Cambridge and finish up that road trip tomorrow afternoon, and then returning home to the Mini Dome in Batavia Thursday night against Wilberforce, a 5:30 tip. Taking a look at some of the final numbers in this game, Mike Matthews places 3 Lady Cougars in double digits. Stacy Lee, 18 points. Ashley Keith, 15. Marissa Stutz, a dozen. A couple other players contributed. Tess Jenicky with 8 points, all of them in the final 20 minutes. 8 points for Desiree Dutro before she fouled out. 6 for Junker, 4 for Lydia Hamilton, and 1 for Brooke Cotaro. UC-Clermont, 16 of 28 from the charity stripe for 57%. For OCU, Asia Woodson led the way, 17 points, though she only had 3 in that second half. A dozen tonight for Olivia Davis, a dozen for Shelby Rowe, 8 tonight for Chelsea Black, who played well in the final 20 minutes, 4 for Maritza Will, and 3 points apiece for Katie Fuller and Tiaja Smith. The Trailblazers, 9 of 13 from the charity stripe for 69%. Had 2 players tonight in with a double-double, 1 for each team. Ashley Keith tonight, 15 points and 12 rebounds for UC-Clermont, and Olivia Davis, the good-looking freshman from Grove City Central Crossing High School, tonight had 11 rebounds and 12 points, had 3 block shots as well, did Olivia Davis. A leading rebounder in the game for UC-Clermont was Ashley Keith, with 12 boards. Leading scorer was Stacy Lee with 18 points. It was Marissa Stutz and Brooke Cotaro that dished out a team-high 4 assists, and Stutz and Lee had a team-best 2 blocks. For OCU, leading scorer tonight was Asia Woodson with 17. Leading rebounder was Olivia Davis with those 11 boards. 2 assists apiece for Gadsden and Shelby Rowe to lead the way. 3 blocks for Olivia Davis was a team high, and it was Olivia Davis that also had a team high 5 turnovers. Tess Jenicky had 5 turnovers as a team high for UC-Clermont. So again, the Cougars sweep the season series. They won meeting number 1 on a Stacy Lee bucket at the buzzer, 61-60, and they win tonight in the Leadership Center by the final of 72-59. The Clermont Cougars improved to 13-14, and Mandy Ray and the Lady Trailblazers dropped to 9-10. And as we said, back in action Tuesday night in this building at 6 p.m. We'll have that broadcast for you against a good Ohio Midwest Western team. We'll take a break. 60-second timeout. We'll get you set for the OCU men who are on the floor. We'll tell you about the OCU men, the Clermont men, and an interview with Jamie Batten to get you prepared as well. All that coming up after this 60-second timeout. You're listening to OCU Trailblazer Basketball here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.